Are you brave enough to open Pandora's box? Or are you skilled enough to run the gauntlet? Or are you bloodthirsty enough to encounter the hunt? Hello and welcome to the Friday Fantasy Show from the Bottled Imp, exploring the realms of fantasy. My name is Ken Boyter and today we are taking a look at another mini expansion for Talisman 4th edition revised, and this one is the Nether Realm. Yes, this one is designed by John New with additional development by Samuel W. Bailey from Fantasy Flight. And if you haven't heard by now, Fantasy Flight, I don't know what happened, but they're not producing Talisman anymore. They lost their license, or they didn't want to do it. I don't know what happened. Anyway, Games Workshop has the license back again, and they will be doing a 5th edition. That's the news, word on the street, or the city, I should say, because it's city's an expansion for Talisman. Anyway, yes, so the 5th edition should be coming out later on this year. We're not sure, but let's see what the Nether Realm has in store for us. The Nether Realm expansion for Talisman 4th edition revised. What's it all about? What's in the box? Well, basically, again, cards, the same as the Deep Regions expansion, there's cards. This time there is 3 alternate ending cards. We have Pandora's box. We also have the Gauntlet. Wow. We also have the Hunt. So these 3 alternate ending cards, if you've never got an expansion before, you may not know what alternate ending cards are. They basically change the end conditions for winning Talisman the game. And what you would do is they have a little star on one of the corners to indicate that that is actually a revealed ending. Some expansions have one with a little moon, which means it's a hidden ending. And what that means is if you're playing with hidden endings, then you will take all the expansions, that alternate ending cards that have that, you will shuffle those, and then you will select one of those at random, and you will place that in the center of the board face down, so nobody knows what the end conditions of winning the game are. Adds a bit of surprise. Whereas with the ones with the star, i.e. daylight, well, I guess it's the sun then, isn't it? That means that they are revealed. So what you do is you will, again, you could either choose, again this is a bit of a house rule, you could either choose to actually just select one and say that I want to play with this one, or you can shuffle these, and you can shuffle them into other alternate ending cards as well that have got the sun symbol on there. And then you'll basically select one as a surprise, but it is then read out. So what I'm going to do is these 3 ones for the Nether Realm, they actually all will use this deck here, which is the Nether Deck, I believe it's called. And basically there's some, well, pretty tough and evil and horrible monsters in here. What have we got here? The Basilisk. We also, oh look at that, the Dragon Toad. I've not come across this one yet. Fantastic. I'll show you that one, the Dragon Toad. We also have the Necro Chanter. Oh, that's an event. So it looks like there's events and there's monsters in there as well. So some are obviously going to be tougher than others. The Titan Wraith, which is craft 13. You have to be pretty strong to beat that one. So what you will do is you will then set the game up with this deck differently depending on which alternate ending card you actually have. So I thought, you know, it would be quite cool if I went through each of these cards. Now bear with me, I haven't memorised all of the rules for each of these cards. I thought I'd just read them out to you. Now it might be a little bit boring, hopefully it's not, but it will just give you a flavour, because I could just say, yeah, that's it, you just get alternate ending cards and you set the deck up like that. But I don't think you're going to get a feel of how the game actually plays with these alternate ending cards in the Nether deck, unless you know how each of these alternate ending cards actually play out. So first up is Pandora's box, and that is, again, yes, it says here you need the Nether Deck. And what you do is it says once a character reaches the Crown of Command, which is obviously the middle space, which is what the whole game is about. All the characters are trying to get to the Crown of Command. Characters cannot heal or gain life for the rest of the game. And that's very important. And the entrance is sealed. So obviously the Crown of Command, the first person to get there, that's it. Nobody else can enter. It's sealed. No one can heal or gain life. No other characters may enter, and any character attempting to enter the Crown of Command is thrown into the plane of peril instead. You have been warned, basically. So it says here, when a character reaches the Crown of Command, he must take 6 cards. So let's do that now. 6 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, we have shuffled these at the beginning of the game. And it says here you take 6 cards from the Nether Deck, plus 6 cards for each other character in play. So say there was 2 more, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then what they do is they will put those 6, 12, 18, good at maths. I will take those cards, I will shuffle those, and they are your own deck basically, because you place that in front of yourself. And then on each turn, he must take the top 6 cards from this pile and use them one at a time against any other character, any of the other characters, as if they'd just drawn the cards themselves. So it's basically you being on the Crown of Command, you have the power to summon these cards from the Nether Realm and force them on other characters, which I think is pretty brutal. And it says here, if all other characters are killed, the character on the Crown of Command wins the game. If any other character has survived when the pile of cards is exhausted, the character on the Crown of Command is killed and all surviving characters share victory and win the game. So basically it's about survival. So let's have a quick look at these. So for example, say it was my turn, I would say, okay, this is going to be on one of the other players, and this is a Mist Giant Strength 8. So you can tell these are going to be pretty brutal. Now obviously that character might have, 5 lives or 1 life or 6 lives. They would have to encounter this as normal, and if they were defeated they would lose a life. Plus this one has some other text there as well, so there might be other penalties if they lose, or there might be bonuses if they win. So you have to read each card and resolve it. And you would just keep doing that, and then you would do another one, and it would be an event. So this one's an event. Let's have a quick look. This is a Necrochanter. It says the Necrochanter summons a Corsic cloud that prevails every region. All characters lose 1 life, then discards this card. So obviously this is all about attacking your other characters, your other players, and just wearing them out. Hopefully they won't survive this amount of cards. So that is Pandora's box. You're basically unleashing all sorts of hell onto other players. So that was that one. That was Pandora's box. So let's have a look at the hunt. Now the hunt, I'll just show you the card there. With this one, it says here, again, you need the deck, obviously. It says here, whenever a character draws an adventure card, and I just happen to have some adventure cards there, those are the base game adventure cards. It says here, he may discard 1 card of his choice that he does not wish to encounter to draw a card from the Nether Deck to replace it, which he must encounter. So obviously I might tip this over. This is a weapon, I'd probably want that one, but if it was, no, I'd want that one as well. I'd probably want that one. I don't know, say it was a place here and you thought, well, I don't particularly fancy rolling a die to see what happens on that one. I don't have to encounter it. That would go in the discard pile, and then you would have to take the top card from the Nether Deck, which obviously was that one, and Dragon Toad, yes. So say that was the top one, and you flip it over, and you would actually have to encounter that Dragon Toad and resolve that. Obviously you might beat it, you might lose it. And you do then, the same rules apply. You would, if it's a creature, you would take that as a trophy. But it also says, once a defeated enemy from the Nether deck is exchanged or otherwise discarded, it is not placed... Oh, hang on. Now that'll teach me. It is not placed in the discard pile. It is placed face down. Oh yes, I forgot about this, sorry. It is placed face down in the character's play area. So you put it face down in front of your area. If the character is killed, he must keep all his defeated enemies from the Nether deck, both face down and trophies. And it says the first character to reach the Crown of Command with 4 or more defeated enemies from the Nether deck in his play area wins the game. So that's quite a cool concept. So yes, you're risking getting a high level monster that's tough, like this one here. Look at this. This one is strength 9. But if you defeat it, you place it face down in front of you, you need 4 of those, and then you go up and you still can win the game. You will need a talisman, obviously, unless you get to the Crown of Command in a different way, because you need one to go through the Valley of Fire. But again, this just changes the actual conditions. So this will actually encourage you to explore the Nether deck. Then we have the Gauntlet. I'll just show you that one there. Now with the Gauntlet, this one again, you'll need the deck as well. And it says at the start of the game, place 1 card from the Nether deck face down on each inner region space, and 2 cards face down on the Crown of Command. So what you will do, as it just says, you will shuffle them, and you will then take 1 card and you will place it on each space in the inner region. Plus you will then do 2. And then what it says is, a character entering the inner region, so let's say the Brave Knight has managed to enter the inner region, he's at the Plane of Peril, he enters it as normal, and then he must encounter the cards on each space before encountering the space. So you first move up, you will then flip over that one. This one happens to be that event, that Necrochanter. You can see I didn't shuffle them that well. And you'll encounter that before you then encounter that space. So obviously the Plane of Peril, nothing actually happens. On his next go, what you do though is you then, once that's done, you'll then replace it so that someone else that comes up actually has to encounter that as well. It says here, yeah, if he fails to successfully encounter a card, his turn ends immediately, and he must encounter the card again, so it's the same card again if you fail it, on the next turn, unless he decides to turn back. It also says here, a character that has turned back ignores any Nether cards and returns to the Plane of Peril, so you don't have to do them on the way back. Once a card has been encountered successfully, he draws a replacement. Like I said, if you encountered it successfully, you draw a replacement from the Nether deck and place it face down on the space encountered for the next character to land on. And basically it's the first character that survives the Gauntlet run, obviously you have to do each card plus the space, that will win the game. Again, you will need a talisman for that because you need to go through the Valley of Fire. So you will go through and say, let's say, oh look at this one, this is the Mist Giant again. Who shuffled these? It's strength 8. If you successfully defeat it, brilliant, you'll take that as a trophy, but then you must replace it. And then you also have to roll the die, you have to encounter the crypt. Again, if you were successful in that, you would move on, you would flip over the card, you would encounter this, which happens to be a Balisc, strength 2. If you're successful, brilliant, you will then deal dice with death. If not, obviously you will have to stay there again, and you'll actually have to encounter the Balisc again. So there we go. So what do I think of this? I think this is a lovely little expansion. It's just something different. They haven't bombarded you with loads of characters, loads of, there's no board involved with this one. Again, this would be great if you didn't want to unpack all of your other expansions and you just wanted a little bit more flavour from the base game. Choose one of these. They are a lot of fun, and especially, the Gauntlet one where you're slowed down. A little tip, when we played the Gauntlet one, I managed to go through to the dungeon expansion, which means that if you beat the Wrath Lord, no, the Lord of Darkness, by a certain amount, you beat him by a certain amount of score, you go straight to the Crown of Command. And that's what I did. So I bypassed the Gauntlet. But obviously, it's a lot of fun. It just adds that extra variety. Again, the illustrations are beautiful. It's very well thought out. It will just add that extra layer that you might want And it is something different because it's quite unique in terms of, like the Deep Realms, it's different to the other expansions. So I would definitely recommend it. It's always great fighting all these monsters. This is basically the monster deck. So if you want, again, leveling up could be pretty cool. Although with this one, I would steer clear to begin with, because obviously there's some of the monsters in that are very, very powerful. So there we go. I do recommend this. Again, this is becoming out of print, so would you spend 40 or 50 pounds on this? You know, $80? I don't know. If you've got the money, then yes, because it adds a really nice touch to the game. Hopefully, the 5th edition, all the expansions that have come out for the 4th edition will be compatible. We don't know what they're going to do with that yet. Hopefully they will be, because I really do enjoy playing this little mini expansion. That's the Nether Realm. The Nether Realm. Yes, thoroughly enjoyed this. It's always good. I quite like it when they monkey with the inner region. The Dragon expansion did that as well. This one does it in a slightly different way. It's a simpler way. I like the fact that you've got one deck of cards and they've used it differently for all 3 alternate endings. And it's always nice to get more alternate endings to spice up the actual base game. There we are, the Nether Realm. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep it unreal unless you open